Hi guys, this is HelpingHans, and today we're looking at the Scarlet Bison 2.20 patch notes. First of all, we have an overview. So this is a big patch including the Endure and Defy Battlegroup DLC pack, which is a new battlegroup for each faction, that being the Last Stand Battlegroup for the Wehrmacht, the Polish forces get the Polish cavalry, the Africa Corps get the Kriegsmarine, and the Americans get the Italian partisan battlegroups. We'll be going into them in more detail later, but we're going to be mainly focusing on the actual changes to all the units and stuff with the patch notes here. As it comes with the maps, they've added quite a few new maps. We've got a new 1v1 map called Bologna, a 2v2 map called Wadi Dana, two 4v4 maps. We have got Liveto, Citra, and Powder Keg, which is cool. Some nice new 4v4 maps. And then we've got some quality of life map improvements, which we'll just skip over. You guys can see and look at them at your own time. And then there's been some resizing as well. They've made it so that Sim1 can be now a 2v2 map. Jeb Pass is also now a 2v2 map. Both of these used to be 1v1 maps. And Road to Primol has been added to the 3v3. I think this used to be a 2v2 map. So general gameplay, core mechanics, vehicle loading and tank riding. Tank riding and infantry loading have been overhauled to improve responsiveness and coordination between squads and vehicles. Reinforcement and garrison improvements. Units inside holds are now easier and safer to use. Infantry can now reinforce inside buildings, half-tracks, and other holds if a reinforced squad source is nearby. Opening more tactic options for mobile or fortified play, which is pretty cool. I don't think this is kind of a new feature. You never, in previous Company Heroes games, there was never the option to be able to reinforce while inside a vehicle or inside a bunker, things like that. And now you can do, which is pretty cool. Losing a constructed garrison such as bunkers or fighting positions will no longer kill its occupants, encouraging players to hold positions longer without being punished for committing to defensive structures. Cool. This doesn't say ambient buildings. It's only bunkers or fighting positions. So I'm kind of curious if this would also, mean that if a like a normal like house or something was to collapse with the squad inside die, I guess we could test that. But it just says here bunkers or fighting positions. Engineers holds will automatically ungarrison to repair when commanded. Cool. Vehicle pathfinding and collision. Vehicle movement has been adjusted to create cleaner and more predictable interactions on the battlefield. So it should be easier now to block enemy vehicles from running away, less likely to phase through, things like that, which is cool. Campaign, we'll ignore that. AI, apparently there's some improvements with AI as well. We'll be the judge of that when we see it later on. Right. On to what we're all interested in, which is the multiplayer balance. General, battle group call-ins and units. Battle group call-ins units. All right, battle groups that have 0 call-in infantry have too much momentum against standard builds, which require a starting building to be established. These battle groups can outnumber the opponent or take early map control, allowing them to snowball into the mid-game. So now in answer to that, what they've now done is a 25 initial cooldown before they can be deployed. So this is like, the Full-Stream Pioneers, the heavy machine gun power drop. Oh wait, hang on. This is they're unchanged, but I think that was they were already had a delay before they could call in. This is applying to things like the Bersaglieri, the Aussie sections, things like that, I imagine. So we'll see changes to those things. Right, the generous heavy tanks. So this is the big one that we learned about previously. It's now that the end game heavy tanks now going to cost more, and though there are some offsets to this. So the Wehrmacht Tiger, Pershing, Black Prince, and King Tiger, their manpower cost has increased by 30%. And also the fuel has gone from 180 to 250, and their command point cost has increased. However, I do believe that we were reading somewhere, let me see if we could find it. Yeah, discounts the cost. So if you build your last kind of your tier structures, it will discount the cost of generalist heavy tanks by 20% manpower and 20% fuel. However, overall, this is still a nerf to these big heavy tanks. It will mean that they will still cost more overall, I believe. Now, immediately grants 2 additional command points to the player once construction is complete, for a total of 3. So this is kind of cool. So I mean, when you build your kind of final tiers, you get those 2 additional command points. This doesn't only help you get maybe those additional command points to unlock the Wehrmacht Tiger, the Pershing, Black Prince, or King Tiger, but you could potentially use them another way to get the command points needed for another ability that you might be wanting to go for. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, generally the end game tanks are going to be. I feel like with these changes, it's going to be rarer to see these tanks. I mean, it already feels like it takes forever to see things like the Pershing come onto the field and the King Tiger and stuff. So with these changes, it just feels like it's just going to make them, you know, the DAC Tiger, because it doesn't seem like the DAC Tiger is getting changed at all here, and the DAC Tiger isn't gated behind command points. So I think, yeah, the DAC Tiger is just going to reign supreme and uncontested, because it has, like, you know, the Pershing and the Black Prince will take even longer to come out now, which kind of suck. But I guess we'll have to test it all out and actually get a feel for it, you know, once we play some more and actually see if that, that kind of speculation is warranted in the game when we do some testing and see, you know, are we correct in my thoughts there? Right. All generous heavy tanks, is including the Africa Corps Tiger, population standardized to 24, and their experience value has been standardized as well. Now, this is a big change to general medium tanks. So, Wehrmacht, Africa Corps Panzer IVs, the Sherman Easy 8, Sherman 76, Grant, and the Panzer III. Veterancy of all medium tanks has been changed to be more impactful. Previously, a medium tank with veterancy struggled to stand out, even once it got to level 3. They've also changed their veterancy to have a greater emphasis on anti-vehicle performance rather than anti-infantry firepower. So, 50% machine gun accuracy, and a little bit of information there which says it will affect both the Grant's cannons. Appreciate that. Vet 2, 20% weapon penetration, 30% rotation rate. Veterancy 3, 25% weapon attack speed, and 80% more health. And 80 health, sorry. Unique bonus remains the same for each tank. Panzer III's unique is a higher rate of fire bonus. It'd be nice if they listed all the uniques there, rather than just the Panzer III's. I just list the Panzer III's when... Yeah, you should list all of them. But this plus 80 health is quite nice, because that gives them a bit more survivability. You keep them, get them up to veterancy 3, which is cool. Then we're on to crew. Shot critical. Duration has been increased by an extra 2.5 seconds. Now, loads effective units rate of fire by 33%. That's pretty significant. So, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but the crew shock is let's say if you lob an anti-tank grenade, it's the yellow symbol, right? When a vehicle gets hit, that is crew shock. Second, if you lob 2 grenades, you get the damaged engine. So, if I'm correct in my thinking there, like an anti-tank grenade's kind of crew shock from like, it would be that Panzerfaust or an anti-tank grenade or whatever have you, that has now been increased by 2.5 seconds, which is very significant. So it means that you really want to make sure you're keeping your distance from units that can snare you potentially. Like towed anti-tank guns. So the Flak 36 17-pounder, the big M5 anti-tank gun for the Americans. Their crew health has been lowered and standardized to 105. The heavy anti-tank guns a little too much health per entity when combined with their larger squad size. We're reducing their health to make it easier to clear these weapons when not properly supported. Okay. However, the M5 crew is having its health increased by 5 as it was lower than the other tank guns. Okay. All direct fire medium T weapons, the anti-tank guns, flak guns, no longer provide light cover. Direct fire team weapons are 2 resistance to small arms fire when in the open due to the weapon providing cover. We are removing this. Ooh, right. So it's going to be much easier to take down support weapons now. Observation posts will now increase manpower income and place on strategic... hang on. Observation posts will now increase manpower income and place on strategic points to bring it in line with all other resources points. Now grants 20 more manpower. Wow! That's huge. So I thought it was just the DAC would be getting that bonus for when they upgraded the hard point. But now, if you build just the cash on top of a strategic point, you'll actually get even more manpower. So if you're doing well, oh god, that's really significant. Honestly, that is super significant, guys. That's absolutely insane. That's probably one of the biggest things I've noticed so far in these patch notes. That's huge. And also, beforehand, in Company Heroes history, guys, there was never like the reason to build a cache on a strategic point because it would never increase the manpower income. It would just be, there'd be no real reason to do it other than make it just a little bit harder for your opponent to capture the point. Now there is a reason to do it, and I like this. Because maybe you don't want more munitions or fuel. You actually want to like invest in more manpower into the late game. So you're kind of making it maybe a sacrifice early game to have some maybe more later game benefits. This could be really cool. I'm liking this a lot. This is cool. This is cool. Like, that's really good. The casualties. The time casualty remains alive has been increased to give players more opportunities to interact with casualties and allow medics to reach them on larger maps. Oh, wow. That's a huge increase. So what was that, 30, 40 seconds? Up to 140, 150 seconds? That's triple. That's even more than that. That's triple. It's got quadruple the amount of time. That's huge. Recovery medics, triage and medical bunkers. Medic counts being reduced to account for the increased time casualties remain in the battlefield. Medic count reduced from 2 to... Oh, okay. Oh, this is bad. This is a bad change in my eyes. Why? Because there might be more casualties on the field, but if you only got one guy picking them up, you know, that one guy's going to take forever to go backwards and forwards to pick all these guys up on the battlefield, right? And still might mean that they might not be able to reach all the guys in time. Wonder why they've just. I mean, do they really think that's just a single medic? Are they just trying to cut down on the amount of entities on screen to reduce the overload? You know, to make it easier. Hey, Vaki, thank you for 122 months, dude. Cheers, mate. Thank you so much. But you know, if there are more dead bodies like crawling around on the map and bleeding out, that'll also put more strain on the match as well. You missed the light and medium anti-tank gun section, did I? Oh, you're right. Yeah, light and medium anti-tank gun section. So the crew size, has gone from 4 to 5. The crew health has gone down by 10. Veterancy 2 traverse speed is changed to 50% attack speed and rate of fire. Veterancy 3 fire bonus reduced from 35 to 30%. Note the 2-pounder does not receive these changes to attack speed from veterancy. Right, okay. So overall, this is, I don't know, you know, the extra crew size, you know, bit more survivability, but then they go down by 10 health. Overall, I think it's not too bad. Vulnerable to small arms fire. Okay, yeah, I kind of, it's interesting to see. You know, I'm not, you know, it's all anti-tank and anti-tank guns, so it's across the board for all factions. So we'll see how that goes with the extra man. That's kind of cool. Right, on to Garrison combat bonus. It was too easy to kill units inside Garrison constructed garrisons. Any area of effect weapon was incredibly deadly to the occupants inside, resulting in squads always wanting to be outside the garrison past the early game point. Combined with the change to constructed garrisons not killing the occupants on death, players will now be able to seek shelter in their defensive structures rather than it be safe to stand outside. Now provides 50% damage reduction to units affected by the garrison. 50? 50? Ooh, that's huge. I still think like flamethrowers and stuff would still like have the bonus against units inside buildings, but that 50% damage reduction. But is it does this 50% damage reduction only apply to units in constructed garrisons? This is going to make something like the coastals be very strong, as well as like the Kriegsmarine and their hardpoints having the infantry in those kind of like hardpoint areas with the 50% damage reduction. That is so big. Imagine, you know, I can see a Kriegsmarine player pushing, getting the enemy cut off, building a hard point on it, and then just sitting on your opponent's cut off, and it'll be really hard to displace them with this 50% damage reduction. Right, constructible bunkers, fighting positions, and fighting nests no longer have a chance to kill occupants. Units emerge undamaged. Light artillery pack howitzer, light artillery oil fire range has been it's gone up by a bit more. Yeah, I always thought that the range of the attack round and the auto fire range was a bit low. If you the manual the manual barrage that you can do is quite long, but the auto barrage is very, very minimal. So I think this is a welcome change, I would say. Smoke bomb runs, airborne and breakthrough. The bomb count has increased from 5 to 7, and the coverage has increased. Okay, so the smoke bomb runs are going to be a lot more effective. Cover a bigger area. They further increased the build time on sandbags from 5 to 6 seconds across the board. Really? Okay. Grenades and flamethrowers should now detonate mines that they hit with their splash damage radius. Okay, cool. Yeah, grenades didn't seem to detonate mines. It was very, half the time it would, half the time it wouldn't. So that's good. Right. 1 second, guys. Just gotta. Right, apologies. Right, then on to the Americans. So the US forces, right, are receiving significant improvements to the barracks and motor pool, which have been underperforming. The changes to the faction reduce the volatility of the rifleman openings, while motor pool has better shock value and longevity when combined with the changes to anti-tank guns. Right, okay. The cost of the grenade package is being reduced, giving barracks play easier access to frag grenades, so it's down by just 5. Utility package now requires a support center. We're looking at locking utility package behind tech to make it harder to negate the early machine guns. Scouts are already effective against heavy machine guns by spotting them from range, allowing players to avoid or flank them. Okay, I think this is maybe a fair change. Because, yeah, otherwise just being able to drop a smoke, grenade right in front of the machine gun really hurts, like, a Wehrmacht player if they go for, like, an MG right from the start. So I think this is kind of good. I think that's kind of fair, I think. Riflemen then. So, rifleman damage per second is too low at medium and long range, leading to a binary play pattern of the unit needing to close in at point-blank range to avoid range engagements. Their inability to punish units at range or fight defensive battles is also a major weakness in team games, where there's less room to maneuver. Armies are consolidated. Furthermore, volume is very low. You can't hear me? Hello? Am I quiet? What's going on? Hello? I could try and increase my microphone volume a little bit. Hopefully that's better. Right. Furthermore, the squad is very weak against ultra-light vehicles when forced to fight at range, making the barracks vulnerable to early 250s. To address this and these issues, we are increasing the damage per second of riflemen at medium-long range with a focus on rate of fire. These changes will allow riflemen to trade with infantry in cover battles and ward off early ultra-light vehicles. Now, I'm interested in why they're doing this, because traditionally, rifle always been the ones that need to get close to do damage. Here and then the grenadiers are the ones that do better at a longer range. So I'm kind of curious to see how like a rifleman at long range will now, compared to a grenadier at long range. They're both squads fully behind green cover. I'm kind of curious to see what Type Rail's going to do. Type Rail will probably do some nice testing videos for us at some point. He normally does that, and I'll be eager to watch that and see how he what his findings are. So the manpower, though they have gone up by 10 manpower, but damage per second increase at mid-range by 10 to 50%, long range roughly by 50%. Rifle fire accuracy is increased. Mid fast home, so yeah, squaddy machine gun up. But yeah, so it looks like generally, yeah, the riflemen are just going to be better. They do cost slightly more at 10 manpower, but that's not a huge amount. To get this extra bonus, I think it'd probably be worth it for riflemen if you're an American main. The Browning automatic rifle is receiving significant improvements to its long-range firepower as well. Damage per second increase, significant long range by 100%. Wow. Okay. Bars are better. Captain, marked vehicle no longer increases damage by 25. The captain's marked vehicle was too powerful for ability on a cheap unit. It also gives accuracy penetration and reveals the target. Marked vehicle no longer increases damage. So yeah, increased damage by 25%. So I don't know if any of you guys watched but a recent game where I played with Latoof and where I was up against I can't remember who it was now, but I had a Tiger and a captain pop marked vehicle on the Tiger, and the Tiger at full health like died incredibly quickly to, was it a Pershing and a couple of Hellcats. Every shot penned it, and it just died with before I was had a chance to do really anything about it. Did end up winning that match, but this is kind of nice to see that it's gonna, that 25% damage buff has been removed on it, so it won't be as lethal. This will probably mean more people are more likely now probably to pick the off map, the artillery off map that the captain gets a vet one instead. But we'll see. Maybe the mark target's still pretty decent. The truck with the changes to the armor battle group, we have room to give the Jeep improvements to the early game. As a combat unit, durability and ultralight performance have been improved with only minor cost increase. So 20 manpower more, health's gone up by 20, pen's gone up by a significant amount, so it's gonna be much better against 250s and things like that, or the motorcycle kind of thing. Self-repair ability and advanced repair immediately ends if the unit enters combat. Yep, that makes sense. Advanced repair can no longer be triggered in combat. Well, that's good. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah. Right, the AT gun has been the conversion time reduced by 10 seconds. Okay, it's fair. Greyhound. Cannon area effect damage has been increased, so the splash of its round will do more damage, especially against units clumped up and things like that. So the Greyhound's going to be a lot better at doing its job. And also it will be able to vet faster as well. Okay, cool. Now this is the Chaffee, some interesting change to the Chaffee that we saw earlier. For such a costly unit, the Chaffee has underperformed, relying heavily on the armoured battle group to remain efficient. With changes to armour, we are now able to improve the performance of the Chaffee in its vehicle hunter and support role. In addition to increasing firepower and mobility, we have also introduced a new upgrade ability allowing the Chaffee to act as an armoured scout, helping it spot for the motor pools, anti-tank guns, or reveal gaps in enemy defences that can be exploited. So it now has a new ability called the Recon mode. Disables all weapons and smoke shot ability, but increases vision range by 25. Toggle ability, toggle recharge of 50 seconds between modes. This is going to be very similar to something like the T-70 from Company Heroes 2, which I think is great. So think as the Chaffee is something that was like the T-70 now with that kind of ability. I'm kind of curious. We'll have to test it. Yeah, that'll be one of the things. Write down in chat, guys, for me to test this. We could actually. Hang on. You know what? I mean, I could just jump in and test this right now. I am very curious to see how much of an impact that is. How much is 25 vision range? Let's just choose Angerville for a quick second. AI. We're just going to quickly jump in, and I really want to test this because I always keep banging on, guys, in chat about how important it is to have vision. If you want to be a much better Company Heroes player, you need to be using vision. And the Americans, for this patch, really kind of just relied on their scouts to drop flares to give the vision, or have them uncloaked and then creep them forward and spot that way. Now they have another way with the Chaffee, which I think is a much welcome change. So let me just turn off the Fog of War on. We shall spawn in Chaffee. Here we go. Here we go. Recon mode. Okay, so it does cost 50 munitions. Does it say it costs 50 munitions? Yeah, it requires a 50 munition upgrade before it can be used. So here we go.
Looks like we're getting a retrofit.
Alright, we now have that available. So if we press X, here we go.
Let's not keep them waiting.
Somewhat significant. It's not a massive amount. Let's put a anti-tank gun with this.
We're moving out, fellas.
So it was saying, idea is you use it alongside your anti-tank gun. And actually, if they're side by side,
All right, get those guns ready.
it seems like it mostly covers the whole range of the anti-tank gun. Actually, the Chaffee a little bit farther. I mean, the Chaffee can take a hit or two, so you can have it a little bit further forward like this, providing vision. Now, if we make a Kettenkrad, maybe they. Oh, I'm actually curious to see if they nerf the Kettenkrad's vision as well, because the Kettenkrad's probably been the most broken thing for vision in the game.
Engines moving to our
Right.
destination.
So this is the Chaffee's vision there. If we turn it off,
Finished. What's next?
Ready to scanning the area.
Kettenkrad's still got more. Kettenkrad's still significantly more. I still feel like the Wehrmacht player wins supreme when it comes to the vision. If I upgrade this, it says it gets 12 vision when I upgrade those. That's not on top of the spotting scope range. That's just its default vision range. Okay. But yeah, if we toggle it off.
Orders carried out.
Car number better than a thumb in the eye, boys.
Yeah.
We go
You can see the
anywhere we are
difference. The
needed.
Kettenkrad definitely has better, but I'm still thinking that the Chaffee still be pretty good for that.
Cart observing the
Yeah, look,
area.
there's a bit huge amount. It's like an extra 25 vision that the Kettenkrad
Ready
gets
for
compared.
scout.
It's just 35, but yeah, it looks quite significant for sure.
Orders.
But it's at least good that we now have the ability, you know, for the Americans to have another kind of reconnaissance unit. Okay, moving on. The M4A176 conversion. The anti-infantry performance of an upgraded Sherman allows the unit to overshadow specialist vehicles. With the upgrade always being available in the tank depot, one can build a critical mass that could tackle all threats. The upgrade will now only improve anti-armor performance. In exchange, the upgrade will see a cost reduction. So the cost reduction is from 170 manpower and fuel to 150 manpower and 30 fuel, but it no longer improves anti-infantry performance, retains the same power as the standard 75 gun. Air effect damage is reduced as well, and angle scatter is increased. So it does seem, with these changes, because the scatter's increased with the 76, it's that overall, I think it will make it worse versus infantry. It does say no longer improves anything, but it has the same power. But yeah, I think, yeah, so if you do upgrade your Shermans now with the 76 upgrade, it will mean that they will be less effective against infantry slightly. So, advanced infantry, so this is with the Rangers, I believe. Munitions cost 125 to 150 munitions. So this is, if I believe, infantry assault is the kind of like calling on the A team. And infantry come on and then they then retreat off. So 25 munition more cost on that, I believe. Then we've got the heavy weapons battle group. Well, first of all, this was quite a strong ability anyway, so I think it's probably worth an increase in munitions. The Pershing speed has been reduced. And the rotation pivot has been reduced as well. Pershing was too quick. Speed and rotation. So, oh God. So not only the Pershing is going to come out later and cost more, it's got even further nerfs because, you know, with these changes. Right, God damn, man. Yeah, it's rough for people who like the Pershing. Right, Special Operations Battle Group. Maybe something, received accuracy changed to 50% damage reduction. Operations, okay. The Whiz Bang. Long range. So the health reduced from 720 to 600, so it's easy to kill. Long range rocket barrages are now sets all barrages on a 30-second cooldown after firing. Rockets will now always collide with objects like buildings. Long-range rocket ability will now attempt to arc over tall obstacles. Okay. So this is a considerable nerf to the Whiz Bang, which is, yeah, pretty rough. I mean, you know, all barrages now being on a 30-second cooldown, so you won't be able to fire one barrage then another one kind of thing. It's going to be... So, hang on. Though that being said, actually, I think that still means... I mean, we could quickly test that. We are in game right now. Whiz Bang.
Whiz bang here.
Give it vetted.
Another stripe.
Right. So technically, if I could still just do the normal barrage, right? Hang on, I need to add speed up. What is it? Player. Instant ability charge. Let's toggle that off. Right. Let's try again. Simple fire. Cancel. Yeah, and we can see the long-range barrage is on a 60-second cooldown, even though we had access to it. So, yeah, we can't now do both barrages. If I do the instant charge, look it off again, and we just, for instance, we decide to do the long-range rocket barrage. Let's hit this house over this little barn. Yeah, I'm trying to arc over the tree that's in front here. And then we look onto the right-hand side. Oh, my camera is blocking it. Move my camera out the way. Yeah, you can see there's like a 25-second, 30-second cooldown on the normal barrage as well here. So I'll just do that again since my camera is covering it for a second here. This is pretty significant. This is what a lot of people were complaining about. This unit being pretty broken. Range barrage again. Just cancel it. And yeah, it's just 25-second cooldown. So, This is 30-second cooldown. It is 25 in game, so this is incorrect. We've just tested it, and we can clearly see it's a 25-second cooldown, not a 30-second cooldown.
Rocket artillery, stand by.
And also, once again, if we do... So the opposite way, let's do just the normal rocket barrage.
Raise 50. Give 'em hell.
We cancel it. 61-second cooldown on both barrages. So there you guys go. Hopefully, that gives you guys an idea of now the fact. Your vet 3, so fast. Oh, that might be it. Yeah, hang on. You might be right actually there. That's probably, yeah, 15% ability to recharge. Okay, ignore me, I'm wrong. I'm incorrect. It's the veterancy kicking in there. So it is 30 seconds. And it's 25 seconds because of the veterancy instead. Okay. Alright, so we just test that out. Do you want to use the long range, then short barrage to get the most out of it? Yeah, because if you use the short barrage first, it'll be a 60-second cooldown, right? If you do long range first, it'll only be a 25 or 30-second cooldown. So, yeah, you want to. That's how you would want to use it now going forward. Okay, next up, armor. Armor Battlegroup. The Armor Battlegroup has received a significant revamp of its layout to make choices between various picks and which side of the tree to start would be more impactful. So yeah, they moved some things around here, so you now have like the like repairing ability and stuff around. They moved a few things around here as well. You now can. You used to be the Scot. You used to always be able to get the Scot, but now you got to choose between the Scot and the recovery vehicle. For some reason, they made the recovery vehicle way more expensive in terms of command points, which I think is pretty insane considering it's just a recovery vehicle. You know, maybe a bit more of a durable recovery vehicle since it's on like a Sherman chassis or something, isn't it? But yeah, I think that's kind of very strange. The fact that they made it really expensive. 4 command points for that? I don't get that. Okay. They've removed the Easy 8 cooling. We'll have to again test it as well. I don't think... Do I have armor on my loadout? I don't, sadly. I don't have the armor on my loadout, so I won't be able to test it right this moment. But, I mean, this ability here means you can build it from your tier 4. This is like a... I think... This looks different here. This is like a manpower cost reduction or something I'm seeing here. We'll have to... Again, we'll have to look at that later on. There has been some changes to armor. Field repairs... Oh, here we go. This is it here. With the Easy 8 becoming an exclusive choice against War Machine.
Don't get too relaxed, pal. It's gonna get real busy soon.
Maybe is that War Machine? Its machine guns will no longer be weaker than the standard Sherman to reinforce the unit's position as one of the strongest medium tanks of the game. So you get cost reduction, the 375 manpower and 105 fuel. Hull and coaxial machine guns now function similarly to those used by the standard Sherman, increasing the vehicle's anti-infantry damage output. No. War Machine instead then. Check that. So the M3 chassis, the M4 is based in the M3. Okay. Right, let's move on to Wehrmacht. Let's have a look. The transfer orders now transfers the experienced grenadier to a newly spawned unit. Recharge times increased from 61 to 20 seconds. Ability now moved out of the infantry company. Right, we might be able to test this because I should be able to spawn in Wehrmacht structures here. So let's get ourselves a Gren. Hello, Mr. Grenadier. We'll make you Vet 3. Okay, and then we'll get Tier 1.
You need us?
Right. And, oh, I don't know, can I...
We're ready.
Or maybe I can't have to be the faction because the transfer order buttons are now on the left-hand side here. And because I'm playing Americans, I won't be able to transfer them over, will I? You used to be able to, like, click on the tier structure and transfer them over. Yeah. Unfortunately, this is the cheat mod 2 that I'm using here to spawn units in hasn't been updated because the patch has literally just dropped in the last hour. So we won't be able to do all the testing that I kind of want to do. Ideally, I'll have to switch over to the Wehrmacht faction real quick. ability now moved, yeah, out of the infantry company and appears on the left-hand command bar. Yeah, that's going to be an issue for me trying to do it in testing. Kettenkrad reconnaissance vehicle. This unit, quality of life improvement, allowing the Kettenkrad to use any of its abilities or construction options without opening a menu. Buildable mines no longer appear in the build menu; they appear in the unit ability panel instead. Reduces the clicks. Oh, okay. Let's have a look.
Light vehicle on the field.
Luftwaffe forces need a command center.
Beginning
Get to work.
Panzer company needs building.
Right.
In due
Right
course.
here.
Let's pick last stand. Stern Pioneers. So to convert the Stern Pioneers over, so yeah, you click the ability here, and you click on them, and they run over to your tier 1. There's no kind of like production bar telling you how long it's going to take. But then we have the Stern Pioneers.
Move orders. Get to it. Get moving, Storm
They don't-
Pioneers.
Oh.
Storm Pioneer on the line.
Oh, they do have new voice lines. That's good. I thought
Covering ground.
they have the same voice actor, but they have a few different voice lines.
Storm Pioneers reporting. Ready, Pioneer. Build it or blow it. It's all the same to us. Oh, look. Our radio has stopped working.
Right. So we're going to get a Grenadier out.
Grenadiers assembled.
Let's say we had a veterancy 3 Gren, and let's say we wanted to make him a Jaeger. Will this guy pop out at veterancy 3?
How much ammo do we have?
There needs to be like a...
A squad of Jaeger has been requisitioned.
Okay, no, but it did come out at level 2 with 1500 experience, and it was almost at level 3. So
Grenadiers have been mustered for battle.
it's 750,
Field promotion.
150.
Never thought I'd see the day, Grenadiers.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have different veterancy requirements, so it's not... So I think every bit of veterancy that the Gren has will transfer over to the Jaegers, but the Jaegers require more veterancy to rank up to the higher levels.
Let's go,
But
Binder.
it won't just be straight veteran level for veteran level. So there you go. And then the Kettenkrad. It said the Kettenkrad, yeah, they no longer requires the build. Yeah, they removed the build menu over here on it because you used to click the build symbol, and then you can just be able to straight away just drop the mines down and lay them, which is quite, a little quality of life change. I appreciate that. Right, Grenadiers, having their long range damage increased to allow them to penetrate distance and make rushing them more dangerous. Furthermore, their grenade will now be available at the start of the game, allowing them to push enemies out of cover. The MG42 to provide short-range defense. Damage per shot. Long range increased by 7.5. Fire accuracy increased. Okay, so the rifles got buffed at long range, but so have the grenadiers to kind of match that a bit. So the Grens should still perform pretty well against rifles at long range. Again, we'll just have to do a quick test. I mean, we could just do it right now. Right. I would consider this to be long range.
Move like we got a purpose.
Okay,
What do you need?
let's see.
Grenadiers are under fire. Find cover.
Keep it together.
Seems like the Grens are doing slightly better, but there's not too much in it, really.
Reload. We await commands.
Keep firing.
We're engaged. Send some
The rifles can get 2 bars later on as well.
Grenadiers ready and mostly able.
I am wondering if maybe 2 of these guys aren't in cover.
Standing by for orders.
But it's a fairly even fight, right? It's not like one's got a clear dominance over the other here.
Command us.
Does seem like the Grens are getting more veterancy though. It also costs more veterancy for rifles to rank up. Rifles require 90 veterancy for Vet 1, whereas Grens only require 750.
Cowards are shooting at us. Shoot back.
So yeah, I think Grens just about win this at long range, but it's not too different. Right, let's... Alright, we'll do that really quick once again, guys, but we'll do it with the riflemen with bars.
All right, men, stand by.
Weapons, so they can get 2 Brownings, right?
Buckle onto that gear. All right, boys, advance and stay alert.
Awaiting order. Grenadiers, grab your gear.
You men, get ready. Think you can handle that, Private?
Okay.
Ready for deployment, sir.
Enemy infantry.
Ooh.
Scheiße.
Bars sound different.
They're not gonna
What do we think of the new bar sound, guys?
Suppressing fire.
Fuck, I'm in.
Yeah, it sounds nice.
Reload your fucking rifle. Nah. Grab his weapon. Keep fighting.
Yeah. As I expected, the bars are doing very well to help them win this fight here. Clear winner that the bars are superior here.
We're dropping like flies here. Grenadiers ready.
That was to be expected. Okay, so we'll test there for you guys. Right, Jaegers have also had their health gone up by 10. Kind of curious, yeah, Jaegers with G43 versus barred up rifles at range. Who wins that? I guess we could do some testing again, but we'll be here all day doing that. I kind of want to get into some gameplay soon, so we'll leave the majority of the testing, hopefully, to Tightrope. We'll probably get on with that at some point. Battle group changes. The Luftwaffe relay has been reduced by 25. Camouflage machine guns now from the Terra battle group now cost a command point, so you can't immediately have cloaked machine guns right out from the gate, which I think is a good idea because the cloaked MGs are very, very strong. No quarter trigger range is increased from 18 to 25. Jericho trumpets now provides vision over the target area when the planes arrive and reveals camouflage units. Can now be used in the fog of war. So now can be used as a spot. Provides vision. I guess maybe the planes can be shot down, but now Jericho trumpets could be a way to use that in conjunction with the new Fritz bomb from the Kriegsmarine. Because the Jericho trumpets, I believe, it slows them down as well, right? Do we have that ability available at all? If I can add myself, yeah, battle groups. Let's see. Jericho's trumpets is from Terra. Got that. Can we just give myself that right now? Let's put on Fog of War. Players, Fog of War on. So Jericho trumpet. God, look at the amount of vision you get. Yeah, minus 35% speed and 50% accuracy lasts for 45 seconds. Let's drop it here again. Right, so we'll make these enemy units. If I tell them to move. Yeah, imagine that with a Fritz bomb. They're going to be able to run away from the Fritz bomb very easily, are they? If they retreat, the retreat isn't affected, but they're not slowed on retreat by this. They're still retreat at full speed. But yeah, that, honestly, yeah, the Jericho trumpet, guys, in conjunction with the Fritz bomb now, my god. No, it's just infantry. Demoralize infantry and accuracy. But yeah, mark my words. Yeah, going Terror with, you know, with that, you know, and your teammate goes Kriegsmarine, I think that could be really strong. Breakthrough. Battlegroup. 2.5 utility truck. The truck has been adjusted to now reward the player for using them on larger resource points, even with greater rewards if they are used on victory points. No longer takes up population and has no upkeep. Generates manpower strategic points like caches. Resource generation now similar to caches, increasing based on resource size. Manpower cost reduced by 50. Generates all resource types on victory points. Those are counted as medium points for fuel. Oh wait, this sounds cool. So this is right. Spawnimals, Battlegroup, Wehrmacht. Where is the... What am I looking for? I'm looking for the truck. The cargo truck, right. So we call on our little trusty cargo truck.
Utility truck standing by.
150.
Reporting for duty. Engines understood.
Right, let's just own these points real quick. We will... So, let's just see.
You need tools. Here
Yeah,
we
so I
are.
don't... VPs don't drain. So normally, if you want to build a cache, it's 200. With this guy, it used to be 200, it's now 150. So you basically get a cheaper version of a cache now.
You do know how to drive, right?
Right?
This territory is ours.
Generates manpower and caches. So,
Awaiting
normally, if we were to build a
command
cache,
points awaiting use.
Storm pioneer.
we would get plus... delete. Yeah, plus 3. We then do this here.
Consider it done.
How much is that going up by? Plus... So from plus 8 to plus 11, wait. I think we get...
Orders carried out.
You get plus 3 anyway from just default fuel income. So we'll ignore plus 3. So it's 5, yeah.
Do it.
7.
Storm pioneers reporting. A supply cache.
So it's the same amount.
What are your orders?
Let's say higher resource points, I'm pretty sure, right?
Orders. Vehicle advancing.
So, does this map have a 16? It does. There's a 16 in the corner. Let's try a higher one. I don't think it stacks, does it?
What? We will get there.
So, we currently have a 26 munition. Yeah, let me remove this one. Neutral, make that one neutral for so just so we've just got the one. So, we've only got 16 income.
Pioneers.
We cash it for 200 munitions. Or 200 manpower.
Supply cache
We get
will
24.
protect this site.
If we put this truck on it,
Orders understood.
it does stack. Look, there you go. So it does stack. It's gone up to 32. So you can stack them if you wanted to get even more munitions, which is pretty cool. Clearly is stacking.
Give us our orders.
Right, let's then delete this.
Awaiting orders, Commandant.
Right, and then we add this again. So it's plus 16,
Orders.
24. We're getting 8.
Inward. Over.
Which we would still get, yeah, we'd still get 8 even if we put a cache, but it will stack. Okay, so... Right.
We go
Now let's see what happens if we put it on a victory point. This is what I really wanted to see.
to our destination.
Can you stack multiple trucks? Great shout there. Can we get another truck in? Let's just call one in just so it's the one from the commander.
Utility truck standing by.
Let's cover some ground.
Right, let's pop it on the victory point. So... Let's make this neutral.
Starting the advance.
Okay, so we have no munitions income. Right. Let's see. So 231 manpower income by default, 3 fuel income default. We put it on the victory point.
Orders received.
Manpower increase, plus 5 munitions, and an extra 3 plus fuel. And there's some kind of like little effect, or is that just the map? I turn it off.
Orders carried out.
That's just the map.
Back us up.
Oh, is it +5 fuel? Sorry, yeah. So you put it on here, you get +5 fuel, +5 munitions, and what is that, 20? Wow, okay. So if you are able to secure a victory point, guys, and you put, you know, it'd be very worthwhile for you to get this truck and put it down on it, because you're getting +5 on all, you know, your munitions and your fuel and 20 manpower as well.
Eager to get proceeding.
And I stack another truck on this. Let's find out.
If moving to our destination.
Must be near a resource point. Resource cannot be affected by another cargo truck, so you can't stack.
Take it steady, you fool.
But remember, it doesn't cost any population cap to call these on, so you're not going to be hindered by that. And if you were to, you know,
Follow me,
grab this point,
Pioneers
just
ready.
take you off this point for a second.
Orders. Back this thing up.
Send word. Over.
So we grab this. We've got +3 from standard. Get the
Your
+5.
feet, pioneers.
Get that cached, and then throw in the truck.
Engines warmed up. We have orders.
So from a standard point that would have given you just +5, you can get up to. Is that right?
What do you need?
Yeah.
Whatever. Throw it in reverse.
Give it a +14. But mind you, that's only +11 because you got to minus the 3 from the start. So you get 6 overall. Because yeah, that's the cash is 3, the truck is 3. So you basically you can get almost another kind of small fuel point from this if you cash it. And then like on this map, like Angerville, doing something like this might be viable because a +14 fuel or +11 fuel income from just this alone is pretty significant. So if you only had like one half of the map and you went left-hand side, it's pretty good actually. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think I'd be more likely to go breakthrough actually now because of that that truck being very nice. Yeah, cheaper caches, and being able to do it on the strategic points as well. And I think is it just the 20 manpower?
We reverse. Do it.
20 manpower there.
You're starting the advance.
Cash.
A supply cache should protect this site.
Or another 20 manpower. 28 manpower from that point, dude.
Covering ground.
So good. A minute. That much extra manpower, dude. Honestly, I'm gonna really enjoy being able to cash the strategic points now to get manpower. It's like a nice little investment. Because if you can keep the cash alive, it'll pay for itself throughout the match. Right then, let's move on to the next thing. So coastals, the following change. Does it cost population cap to cap the lorry? No, it's free. No longer takes up population cap and has no upkeep. Huge. The following change is being made to this artillery. Ineffective at destroying bunkers that call it in. Now 25 damage against all bunkers, okay. Okay. Artillery officer, but large day. Okay, they've further nerfed the artillery officer. Make changes between the artillery officer which ability makes subsequent barrages faster. Longer delay between barrages makes the ability ineffective at punishing enemies that remain in the zone for a prolonged period. Okay. Right, then on to the Brits. Okay, the anti-tank rifle no longer has a 23% accuracy against infantry. The boys' anti-tank rifle is having its anti-infantry performance increased to make the weapon less detrimental to the squad at later stages of the game. Do note the boys' anti-tank rifle is still weaker than the standard rifles used by the infantry section. However, this is still good because it still makes that squad fairly, competent at, some anti-infantry capability. So I think that's a decent change. The Stuart. Unlocked fuel cost has been reduced by 10, but the fuel cost itself of the vehicle was increased to 50. Now that you can put tulip rockets on Stuarts, it will make it harder to, I guess, maybe spam these guys now because of the extra 10 fuel requirement to build them. That'd be interesting. So yeah, that's just to help against, I guess, Stuart spam. The Churchill. When damaged, killed by the enemy, these units give the enemies 33 with less experience than usual. Okay. Humber armored car. Build time has gone up by 15 seconds, but its manpower cost has been increased by 20. The nerf to the Humber. Okay, Air and Sea Commandos. Manpower costs reduced from 320 to 280. The strafing has been delayed. The delay reduced from 2 to 0. Okay. Naval blockade has been revamped to allow player to temporarily lock enemies out of a single territory, point allowing more time to stall out a capture and bring reinforcements to intercept. Now, a targeted ability that prevents a friendly territory point from being captured for 30 seconds, 45 munitions, 120 second recharge time. That's pretty cool. Then the British armour. So the Crusader AA, rapid fire ability, rate fire bonus, reduced from 75 to 33, so fairly big nerf to that. Indian artillery, the war cry has been reduced by 50, so it's cut in half. Duration has been reduced, though, to reflect that, also by half. The recharge time has been doubled. So you're more likely to use it because it's cheaper. Yeah, short bursts kind of thing. Right, okay. The Gurkhas, so their Thompson damage has gone up by a bit. Their accuracy has gone up by a bit. The grenade wind-up has decreased as well, so they'll be able to get their grenades off slightly faster, right? So, okay, Gurkha buff. The big mortar calling, the 4.2-inch mortar had a 40 manpower cost reduction. I feel like it needs some other changes rather than just making it cheaper. Rather than that, it just feels like it's just that the barrage just takes too long to land and things like that. It needs a bit of a buff in other regards, but slight buff to it in terms of its cost is I guess, welcome. The Aussies. Vet 2 Sharpshooter no longer instantly kills infantry. Instead, it increases the damage of the ability from 60 to 110. Pretty good, big nerf for being able to instantly kill a dude. This used to be very good against things like the Stoss Troop and like super elites of the Axis. To be able to instantly take out one of the Stoss Trooper models would be very significant, but now it doesn't do that. So, interesting. Actually, I'm not sure how much health does a Stoss Trooper squad have off the top. I don't know, can't remember off the top of my head. Okay, they have 120, so yeah, that ability will no longer kill a Stoss dude straight out because it's only 110. The sniper himself as well. He's got. It will kill a sniper. The sniper's only got 100 health, so it would one-shot a sniper with that ability. And also Jaegers. But yeah, Stoss would be alright. How about Fallschirmjägers? They've got 115, so they won't instantly get dropped to model, but be very, very close. They also get 20 health at Vet 3. Does Stoss get 20 health? Yeah, when Stoss get vetted, they get 20 extra health.
Ready to hunt.
Sniper. Does he get any extra health? No. Jaegers. Jaegers would get health later on as well. The more veteran
Yes, sir.
these guys are, well, Vet 3 specifically, the Aussies aren't going to do very well against them. Hold the line. Command point cost increased from 2 to 4. Over repair. The health bonus has gone down by 20, so it's not okay. That is a nerf, but not crazy nerf. Time to set up is 5 to 20. So it takes 20 seconds now to apply the over repair. That's a huge nerf. Added a status decorator timer that counts down to completion when the unit is being over repaired. Okay, that's kind of a nice quality of life addition. But dude, yeah, that extra 15 seconds to set up, it's going to delay you from doing other things and stuff, which is kind of annoying. Right, then the Canadians damage increase 12 to 14. So a bit better there. Firearm cooldown modifier increase as well. You don't rely too much on the grenade to do damage. The Canadians are better. Right, then on to the Africa Corps. Last faction here, guys. Then, we're almost through the patch notes. So apologies, I know a lot of you guys want me to jump straight into the gameplay here. We will be doing it shortly. Okay, major adjustments have been made to core systems of the Africa Corps. The armory upgrades. Okay, I think it's best if I show you. Let me just quit out and we'll swap over to DAC here. This is something I've already learned. But the armory has had huge changes to it. You can only now select one upgrade from each row of the armory. So you can't know. Beforehand, you used to be able to buy every upgrade from the armory. Now you can only pick one. So out of all 9 abilities that are there, you only get a maximum of 3, which is a huge nerf to Dak, I would say. However, they have moved some things around. Yeah, these armory changes, man, are pretty substantial. I think overall, I feel like Dak are getting some pretty big nerfs out of every faction, actually.
We shall hold reinforcements until instructed
Right.
otherwise.
Laying foundations for the support company.
So here we have. So now we built tier 1. We have access on the right-hand side, guys, to advanced field repairs, the combat half-tracks, or the bolstered Panzer Grenadiers now, right? So bolstered Panzer Grenadiers used to be with the where you would buy combined arms infantry kind of thing, and you'd get the extra Panzer Grenadier man and some other buffs like reduced accuracy and things like that. But now you just get the extra Panzer Grenadier, dude. Combat half-tracks, 250. Half-tracks get 40 health and 4.5 armor. 4.5 armor. Or you can get the advanced repairs, increases the repair rate of all infantry by 4.0. And then if we go to the next tier, we then have access to the next set, which is emergency repair kits. This is... I wonder if we switch my scene around. This is 125 manpower, 20 fuel. So this is restores vehicle health, just like the emergency repairs. And it also increases the health by 40. This used to, the emergency repair kit used to be, you used to be able to get this at the 3rd tier. It used to be down here where my mouse cursor is. And it used to give 80 health. So they've reduced it by 40 and they moved it down to this area here, I believe. Right? You've also got smoke package. So this is no longer increasing health. It used to give you 40 health with the smoke package, but now you get the smoke package, but you also get 20% speed and rotation rate. So that was with the kind of like the advanced speed that used to be down in the bottom left over here. And then you get veteran squad leaders, which is 25% more experience earned and 10% damage reduction. So that's that. And then we go to here, tier 3, which is tier 4 rather. Then you've got access to the survival package, increases vehicle health by 80, and enables them to decapture territory. So you used to be able to capture and decapture territory with the increased speed and rotation rate. That used to be combined into one ability, but they never split it. So you now can get the 80 health here instead, but you don't get the speed bonus. So you could, let's say if you wanted to go for like, kind of maybe more of like a tanky and durable kind of gameplay with your vehicles, you'd probably go emergency repair kits with maybe survival package, because you get the 40 health plus 80s, that's 120, the heal out of combat, and they can capture territory. But you could go for emergency repair kits and also go for something like advanced optics, increases the vision range of all your vehicles by 7, increases accuracy and lowers weapon scatter by 20, so they're going to be a bit better there. We're hitting their shots. And the other option is the tungsten core ammunition, which we saw beforehand. 5% more main gun penetration, 5% anti-vehicle damage on all tank cannons and vehicle-based auto cannons. Okay. Do I agree with these changes? I think Dak being able to have all the beforehand being able to buy all these upgrades make them incredibly strong, and they would scale too well into the super late game. So I think this is probably fair. What do you think would be the popular meta upgrades, asked Mifurion? I think smoke package. Most people probably want to pick the smoke package, I think. This 20% speed is very nice as well. And then I probably would pick smoke package in conjunction maybe with the maybe survival package for the 80% extra health. Oh, the emergency repair kits is so handy to have. But I think most people want the smoke package, just be able to pop, if their vehicle gets in trouble, they can pop the smoke and get, it's kind of the panic button, get out of jail free card kind of thing to maybe get away. So I think most people will probably still pick that. So there we go. And they've changed the cost order. So level 1, so that first row is all 125. Then it's 20 fuel, and then it costs 50 fuel later on as well. Okay. I'm pretty sure these upgrades just used to cost manpower. They didn't actually cost any fuel. Now they're actually costing a quite considerable amount of fuel for these upgrades, which I think is kind of fair. Right, so we've already looked at all of that. Yeah, just explained all that. Right, and now on the combined arms. Right, the African Corps infantry was too powerful when working alongside vehicles, but were ineffective when operating outside combat arms range, forcing the faction to remain grouped up for a maximum combat effectiveness. We have reworked combined arms for infantry, improving the offensive bonuses directly into their base stats, allowing them to fight small skirmishes more effectively. Defensive bonus for both variants of the ability have been removed to increase the importance of cover over having a vehicle nearby. So infantry will all get 50% speed and 33% recharge speed when they're near a vehicle. So let's see, this guy is benefiting from combined arms, this pioneer, so he's getting 50% extra movement speed. And they're getting recharge. Team weapons would get a bit more rate of fire, so you kind of your machine guns and stuff. Panzer Grenadier squads are receiving a boost to their veterancy 3 to improve their late game performance. Rifle accuracy has been increased. Near time accuracy increased. MG 34 accuracy increased. And they've got the bonus is increased from 15 to 20. Which bonus is that referring to?
Panzer Grenadiers have been mustered.
My men stand ready.
There's 15 health, 50% harder to hit, and 20% accuracy.
A mechanized combat group awaits deployment.
Oh, it's the accuracy bonus. So yeah, they got from 15 to 20 accuracy bonus. There we go, right. Panzer Pioneers, they've been slightly buffed, and their capture speed, though, has been reduced very slightly. But I'd prefer them to be a bit more lethal, because you might want to do like a Panzer Pioneer kind of strat where you spam them at the start. The motorcycle reducing the power of the tracer marking, which allowed a support crash user to deal incredible amounts of damage with supporting infantry in the early game. The debuff is only, 10% rather than 15 now. Self-repair immediately ends if the unit enters combat and is damaged. Okay, I kind of like that, because if you're caught out of position and you thought you got away with repairing, if you get shot at, then you can drive away so you can get out of the fight. Which is kind of a good idea, but then you'd waste the self-repair ability, I guess. So yeah, I think that's still good though. Yeah, these are some we're still going through the patch notes, guys. Right, 250 adjustments to the 250 have been made to make it easier to push back in the early game and more vulnerable to flank attacks. In exchange for a cheaper cost, its veterancy healing ability has also been made less efficient and moved in line with other healing abilities, as it could allow the African Corps to maintain pressure with full health infantry squads with minimum downtime. The manpower cost of the 250 has gone down by 20. The frontal armor has been reduced again. The Dingo's going to still mess this up even more so now. And also now we saw the Jeep has got a buff as well. The rear armor is also reduced, and onboard medics no longer heals units during combat, so they have to be okay. That is fair. I didn't realize it did that. But yo, that honestly, it's gonna really make people want to buy this upgrade, the combat half tracks. $5.5. How much armor? Is this the same amount? Because you're getting the armor by 5.5, right? Was that the same amount of armor you got pre-patch? I can't remember what it was beforehand. I wonder if anyone in chat room knew that. Was it 5 or 5.5? It's more. So, okay, it's still a bit more. So, I guess if you go for that, you're kind of making up for the fact that you've lost a bit of that bonus. It still would be, the 250 with the upgrade, they'd still be better than the Dingo and stuff. Overall, right? I do like the cost of manpower by 20, though. Almost the same cost as a motorcycle now. The motorcycle's 220. Right. Panzerjägers. The camouflage of the Panzerjäger is being delayed, allowing opposing light vehicles to have more freedom in choosing their engagements without always having to worry about hidden anti-tank units. In turn, tear gas round duration has increased, giving the player more time to punish units that have been hit. So the Nanny Vet 1. Anti-tank tear gas round. Extra requirements removed. Oh, so you get it straight away.
Panzerjäger Mega anti-vehicle infantry available.
Reporting in.
Minus 60% speed and disables vision on affected target for 5 seconds. They've reduced the aim time so I'll be able to get the shot off quicker. The 2 seconds increase. And a bit more time increase as well. That's okay. It's okay. I did think that like the wind-up time to use the tear gas round was quite long. Right, Assault Grenadiers could be oppressive in the early game with their Assault Disembark ability, allowing them to defeat multiple squads and give factions strong momentum. However, the units scale poorly and took a long time to gain veterancy for a dedicated close quarters combat unit. In addition to the combined arms change, Assault Disembark is being locked behind veterancy. The unit will now scale faster and deal significantly more damage once it has reached veterancy 3. So their accuracy is increased. Thompson accuracy increased. Yeah, I guess it's from like when they pick up extra weapons off the ground through plunder. Reduce the requirements. The recharge is 25% extra damage of Vet 3. Oh my god, that's big. I'm actually curious how a Assault Grenadier will compare against like a Ranger squad at Veterancy 3 now. That's kind of cool. I need Vet 1 for the Assault Disembark now. Assault Disembark always triggers when disembarking from vehicles regardless of state. The Panzer 3. With the armory upgrades becoming exclusive choices, the Panzer 3 is receiving a small health to increase to give it increased staying power, as many players may not opt for any health upgrades. This also reduces the unit's reliance on armory upgrades to be effective. Okay. A little bit extra 40 health there. They normally would have gotten that from their armory upgrades, but I guess that is, I guess, a welcome change there. Battlegroup changes. Right, the Flamethrower Panzer 3 is an extra 10 fuel. Burst Auxiliaries, call-in charge time reduced from 75 to 60. Okay, that's fine because they do have a 25-second now delay to be able to call them immediately. But then once you get the first squad out, then the next squad you can get them out 15 seconds a bit quicker. So that's okay. Yeah, I can see that making sense. Italian infantry had some reworks round, right? So they've moved the L6 off from the left side. They've swapped it around here. So, and also I believe they come in at like one. Yeah, there's now a single call-in vehicle. Sound of the alarm, which is this one over here, I believe. Bonus reduced from 50 to 25. Affects overall attack speed now. Now affects allies in the territory zone, not just the owner. All allies. Okay, that's cool. So more of a team game thing. The L6 is now a single vehicle call-in. The change is now 220 and 40 fuel for one vehicle. Right. That's okay. I mean, it does have a big kind of impact. Flamethrower upgrade now requires fire support elements or mechanized company. Okay, so it forces you now to have some tech to be able to get that flamethrower upgrade. Panzer Command, defensive positions with change to the combined arm. Defensive positions have been adjusted to allow the Afrika Korps to play a heavy infantry composition that can quickly move around their territory without the support of vehicles. Change to allow infantry squads and team weapons in friendly territory to gain combined arms bonus without requiring a vehicle nearby. Okay. Early warning. Charge time gone down, 60 seconds. Modified bombs can no longer be dropped in the fog of war. Munitions costs reduced by 20 to rectify that change. Okay. I mean, dropping them through the fog of war was pretty damn strong, but with the Jericho planes and some other recon, you can still drop them behind enemy lines potentially. Through shock tactics decreased from 25 to 20 seconds. Anti-tank Overwatch, delay before a new target can be acquired, increased slightly by half a second. Reduced the ability rate of fire from 40 rounds per 30 seconds to 10 rounds per 30 seconds. Puncher audio. Alright, this is the end of the patch, I think. Yeah, so we've got audio changes. Yeah, bug fixes. Yep, there we go. So if you want to read all this on your own time, I'll put a link to the these patch notes. If you want to
So guys, that's the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did and want more content, check up over here and over here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, make sure to click the button down here. To catch you in the next video, guys. Take care, and I'll see you soon.